So one of the things, man, as a huge fan of country music from this era, the late '80s to mid '90s, country music was really
Sure.
changing a lot in those times. With you had Garth Brooks coming in, the country was getting a little less country, more
Mhm.
different genres were kind of coming in, like the rock elements, the pop elements, and all of that. And then you come along, you're Texas country, and then Bill Lloyd is more rock and roll. You guys come together with those
Right.
kind of, I don't want to say warring influences, but they're not exactly aligned. But you guys come along together, you're writing songs. It seems almost perfect for the time, doesn't it? For
Yeah,
for
it
how
really,
country was changing at the time.
yeah, I think one of the things that was for us that was a driving force was we really loved traditional country music
Right.
more than anyone thought we did.
Hmm.
I mean, we both owned, you know, multiple, you know, Buck Owens albums. And we used to talk about how really that Buck Owens, when Don Rich was alive, was really a duo. It was
Yeah.
Buck Owens and Don Rich,
Absolutely.
you know. And we would talk about the Everly Brothers and how they sang harmonies, and we were studying it, you know, and the Beatles. I mean, it always was, and sometimes there were three voices, but I mean, John and Paul's, vocals were a duo. I mean, 90% of the time. And and so, we were like, okay, we're gonna play country music and we're gonna play rockabilly music, and but we're also gonna play rock and roll. And we're just gonna do it how we see how we love it. And if we're not playing as hard as the Clash, then we're doing it wrong.
Hmm.
And but it excited a bunch of kids who are like didn't think they liked country music to go, this is cool, you know. Yes, this is, and their parents would be like, those guys are actually kind of twangy.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah,
And it
we like
resonated. It
twang.
definitely
Yeah.
resonated too because I've read this. I'm assuming it's true. Of course, everything on the internet is 100% factual. So um, I've heard that you guys, Foster and Lloyd, were the first ever duo to have a number one country hit. So
Well, no, no, here's what it is. We were the first duo to have our debut single go number one.
okay, so first debut single from a
Sing the
duo.
Crazy Over You came out of the gate and it did not go across the board.
Right.
So if you look it up in Billboard these days, it's going to say it was a number three record, but it was a number one record in radio and records, and a number one record in Gavin, and number one in Cashbox. You know, so I'll take it. But yeah,
Absolutely.
we were the first. We were the first duo, and we thought about that. We were just astounded. It's like not the Everly Brothers, not the Louvin Brothers, not anybody. No duo had their first single go straight
Not
to number
even
one.
Conway and Loretta. Like nobody.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's it's just nuts though to think about. Congratulations. I know that's a long time
Uh,
ago, but that's
but
that's a good thing.
that's one of the ones they can't take away from you. You
Of
know, it's
course
a
not. Yeah, no, they can't. I love the story behind the "Sweethearts of the Rodeo" song. Since I found you too, was this before "Crazy for You"?
oh yeah.
So
Before
this
Crazy
this
of You,
was a
so
top 10 single for you guys, and
yeah,
it was the B side of a record from a Battle of the
yes,
Bands winner, right?
yes. So the Sweethearts of the Rodeo win the True Value Hardware Battle of the Bands, contest, and so we think that, and they're signed to Sony Records, and and some cash,
Yeah, yeah.
and so usually with those deals, what that means is yes, you get the cash, and yes, they're going to cut two songs on you, and one's going to be the A side and one's the B side, and they're going to just ship it to radio and then say, "Thank you very much. See
Yeah.
you later."
Bye bye.
There's that. Bye.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep.
But Sony was like, "No, these girls are really talented, and we think they might make it. So we want to sign them to a real deal and let them make an EP." So they were like a six-song EP, and so ours, we made our Since I Found You made the six-song EP, but then they put it on as the B side to the single, and we're like, well, that kills any possibility of it being a single. But the A side died, but some guys flipped it over, and they were like, no, this is the single, man. This
Yeah.
thing kicks ass, and so. Columbia started really working it, and it became a top 10 record for them.
So yeah, guys, Radney Foster had a big hand in Sweethearts of the Rodeo. Just throwing that out there. You turned them into more than just a Battle of the Bands winner.